Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. And I had to sit through this session as my boy Rodney talked about my Cowboys. The sad part, most of the stuff that he says is true. I hope y'all enjoy this episode as we talk about them boys and try to solve other problems of the world.
Them owners got to take Dallas Cowboys. I know they're your boys, bro, but I got to pick on it. You know, them boys down there, you know, a coach ain't got a shot down there because his general manager ain't going to never get fired. You know, you can be the best coach in the world, but if your general manager ain't bringing you in no players, there ain't nothing you can do. But down there, his son is a general manager. Now, you think he going to fire him? And he ain't really got a job because daddy telling him what to do. Because Jerry Jones want to be the man.
Well, you know, Jerry Jones said a few years ago in an interview that, how'd he put it? If he wasn't the owner, he would fire his general manager. And that's when he was a general manager. And that's what he was doing. So he said, yeah, if I wasn't the owner, I'd probably fire my general manager by now when they was in that real long, you know, losing streak and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, he basically said if I wasn't the owner, I'd fire myself. You know?
Exactly.
So yeah, that tells you something right there. You know?
Exactly. And
so yeah.
And it came out. There was something I was watching on TV yesterday when they were talking about this because it's been all over the television. But they were saying that, which I've been saying for years, man, because if you're a billionaire and you've been investing money in this and that, and you've been successful, your team ain't won in 20 years, but you still keeping them because they usually get rid of those kind of assets that's not bringing in money.
Mm-hmm.
But you know as well as I do that these billionaires, they got to have some business that fails just for tax purposes.
Right.
So it behooves them to have a sorry team. They're not all about winning. It's just, hey, I'm a part of this conglomerate here that's worth billions. But if my team is losing, I'm making more money. And they all but said it on television the other day. He said all these owners are not in it to win. They in it to collect money because you still going to get part of that $600 billion TV contract. You don't give a damn if you have a good football team down there. You know, you're going to still make money off of merchandising and all this other stuff. Here, people are always hollering about the athletes. Look at it. Oh, they make too much money. Yeah, your payroll might be 20, 30 million because it ain't but a handful of people on there making serious money. Okay. But you making almost damn near $1 trillion a year.
Well, you know, they ain't in it to lose money.
Exactly.
Yeah, they ain't in it to lose money.
You know, so that tells you they ain't all in that win, but you're going to call the players greedy because they're trying to fight for every little peanut that they can get when you the sole reason for this multi-billion-dollar business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm like, man, but they got the money and the power to sway public opinion, to have just like these politicians got these poor folks out here thinking that they Republican. These Republicans don't give a damn about you. You can't even go to one of their dinners and pay for a meal, you know. So yeah, but you think you're a Republican? Okay, go ahead. You know, I ain't touting the Democrats because they just as bad as far as I'm concerned. But
well, yeah,
at least they'll give you a program.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, when it comes to politics, there ain't no perfect party by any means. But yeah, you know, you're right. And I guess, you know, the old say that the victor belongs to spoil. I mean, if you got that kind of money and you can invest in whether it's pro teams or whatever it may be, you know, you team to do whatever it takes, you know. And I saw something the other day about how most of the corporate CEOs, the people who have really made it good, are not the best people in the world.
Right.
You know, it's like good, you know, the good guys don't get to those levels. You got to be a cutthroat, take no prisoner kind of person to get up to those levels. And I guess if that's the kind of mindset you got, you think about the bottom line at the behest of everybody else, because that's what you want to do. But I mean, especially in sports, they talk about the players and things, but how many other occupations can you go to work, and your work may only be one day a week in a game, but you literally go to work and you could be done that day. I mean, all it takes is a blown out knee or things of that nature, and your source of income is gone.
It's gone.
So I mean, you're gonna get all you can get while you can, because there's a limit on your productive years, and you're gonna try to get as much as you can. That's why when they was negotiating with Dak Prescott, they talking about he's in the prime, he wants the most money he can get, and Emmitt Smith came out and said, well, yeah, but sometimes you got to sort of look at the betterment of the team. I'm like, okay, did you look at the betterment of the team when you held out that year?
Exactly.
And then come to camp and then didn't play the first 3 games of the season. I bet you didn't say, I'm going to look out for the better of the team, and I'm going to go and take less money. And no. So don't be hypocritical about things.
That's right.
This man. No, go ahead.
No, these Negroes get up there and forget, man, and then on top of it, that's why I always say about be careful what you say. Think about it. Try to analyze it as much as you can. That's just like they always want to holler about. Oh, that's just capitalism. Well, not necessarily. Capitalism, in my opinion, there's 2 types of capitalism, and the one is when I don't blame any man for getting out there busting his behind, making buku money, and he want to keep majority of it. Okay, I understand that when you're putting in the time and you're doing that. But the other kind of capitalism, which is pervasive throughout our whole society here, is that capitalism where I'm gonna capitalize on your shortcoming. Be careful when you say you're a capitalist. You taking advantage of people when they're at their worst. And that's what the majority of it. Look at insurance. That ain't nothing but capitalism, the worst kind. Look at any business, and you see the type of capitalism that they're employing is, as long as I can keep my thumb, keep you down, and I make money, hey, I'm good. But there are very few capitalists that are now genuine people who get out there and work and bust their behind, not at the expense of anybody else. Well, then you should keep your money. You're working hard for it.
Mm-hmm.
But our whole system, like you said, them billionaires, they didn't get there by being no choir boys, and they looking to exploit whatever they can and then turn it around on you when you try to do the same thing. Because if I'm working for you, I'm an independent contractor. I got to look out for my best interest. That's right, that's what you looking out for. For which I ain't never like Emmitt Smith so ugly. Anyway, him and
why
Michael
are you
Irvin.
talking about my Cowboys? You talking about my Cowboys,
man?
Rodney.
Hey, America's team, bro.
That's right.
America's team. Too much is given, much is expected. But yeah, man, I just don't get it. They forget that they were players at one time, like you said.
I think that's some of it. Yeah. I mean, you get into a whole nother realm of your life, and you sort of forget where you come from, kind of thing. And I think that was a perfect example of that. I'm the same way. If I'm in the prime of my life, I'm gonna get every dime I can get.
That's right.
Because I'm bringing something back to your, like you say, I'm filling the seats. I'm the one that you're able to make multi-billion dollars when you're paying me $1 million.
Yeah.
So you got to do that. You got to take advantage of your assets while you can. That's just common sense to do those kind of things. But when you get past that, sometimes you think your thinking tends to change.
Yeah.
And I don't like that aspect of it either. I mean, I know things change. I mean, obviously, you're going to have some different opinions on things like that. But when it comes down to something as sort of apples to apples as that, I'm like, no. Did you take a cut for the team back in your time, in your day when you were holding out? I don't think so.
Exactly. Yeah, they something else, man. They, that's just like half of them been a Democrat their whole life. But as soon as they start making money, I'm a Republican. Oh, you done forgot, huh? you eating at what is it? I can't think of the restaurant now. You used to eat at Chick-fil-A. And now you eating high off the hog. And now you thinking differently. So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's amazing how a little bit of money can change your
Change it.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say once again, you sort of forget where you came from.
That's it. Jerry Jones give y'all a little box up there in the stadium so you can watch the football game. All of a sudden, y'all pro Jerry now. He tried to screw y'all out of your money and shit.
Yeah. Well, I somebody was telling me, I guess that didn't happen with Jerry West. I guess what's Bus's daughter showed him the door, huh?
He had tickets for life now, but that was a short life because he ain't got them no more.
I guess you don't go off and help other teams expect to be welcomed back with free tickets and that kind of thing. So I'm like, they shouldn't do Jerry like that, man. He's a Laker for life.
Man, evidently not.
At least with a free ticket, he could be a paying Laker for life, right?
Hey, there you go. Yeah, he should have went on up there like Magic did and holler at the old genie, cause him and what's the old boy's name? It just came out recently. Him and played basketball with Michael there up there, the rebounder with the blonde hair.
Oh, Dennis
Rodman. Yeah, Dennis Rodman. See, Dennis went up in there. He dated Jeannie, so he say.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, that came out about a month ago.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's when Daddy was the owner. She was just a little. He said, Dennis said, yeah, she posed for Playboy. I'm like, yeah, I know what that dating was about. so now
I just don't know what anybody would see in Dennis Rodman. My own personal opinion, he just always seemed sort of dirty to me. I don't know what it was, but he just always seemed dirty to me.
He did. He looked like he could step out of a shower and you see him and say, "Oh, you need to take a shower."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, man. He just seemed that way. But no, I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, pull it up.
Now, is this the same one that Phil Jackson was dating all that time?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep. I believe old Magic was tapping it, but
you think Magic? Well, I don't know. These days and times, I don't know. You just never know. But that's somebody now. I must admit, Magic has done well for somebody that I just didn't think, would. And I think because he had, Dr. Buss there. I mean, I'm not saying he could have done everything that he's done on his own, but it definitely helps when you got somebody who has the financial backing and the business, knowledge to help you do those kind of things. And because I think that probably helped him as much as anything of having Dr. Buss there. But he's done good things, and he's gone into some of those depressed neighborhoods and built his theaters and things, and he's sort of overcome what everybody will tend to remember him by.
Right, exactly. No, you're totally right. In this society, so it's all about who you know. Any black person, I count myself in there because I can be hard on the majority community, but every step that I've made, there's been a white person that's been there to help spur it on. You know what I mean? Because there's conversations that we can't get in on all the time. There's doors that we can't go through all the time. When I was working for the courts, we'd have a staff meeting in the morning. We'd had a staff meeting. And then once it adjourned, then it's like, hey, Steve, Howard, Bob, y'all hold back a little bit. I always call it the meeting after meeting. Get the brother out of here. Now we can discuss some real things, and that's just the way it's been. And but I just think that there's just, and let me qualify this. There's good people everywhere. It doesn't matter what your race is. It's just that it's few and far between that you run into them to where you can get a situation just simply because of the color of our skin.
Yeah. Well, that was, that's sort of mindful of the comment that I think it was Jimmy Johnson made uh, on the Fox pregame show a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about, black coaches and things of that nature. He made the comment, well, we need to get more, more black general managers. And I think it was Kurt Menefee said, or no, it wasn't. It may have been Howie Long said, no, you shouldn't have to have a black general manager just to hire a black coach.
Right.
And I said, that was spot on comment. Yeah, it shouldn't have to be that way. You shouldn't have to have your own in there in order to have more of your own to come up and get in those kind of positions. I said, that's exactly right. That shouldn't matter. It should be a matter of their ability to win games. That should be the bottom line. Do I think this person can coach my team and win games? And so, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, there's some misunderstood dynamics when it comes to things like that. And that's what gets you in trouble. You make those sort of flippant comments and people come right back at you. And he did. I said, yeah, that they didn't let that simmer at all. He came right back on and said, no, that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't need to have a black general manager just so you can hire a black coach.
But see, the reason that so many of them say that is because that's exactly what they do. They white, they're gonna hire somebody white. They always make an excuse about, well, you're naturally gonna hire somebody that looks like you. No, not naturally. Because if I want to win, I'm looking at who can win for me.
That's where I look at it too. I mean, if I'm in the business of sports and winning is what brings in the revenue and stuff, that's what I'm looking for. If I'm in a business and I know your talent is something that's going to bring in revenue, could care less what color you are. I mean, I'm bringing you in. That's right. Should be the bottom line. The bottom line, because I know I was shocked as hell about. I guess first part of last year, there's this little racetrack up the road from us that it was still active when we got here. Then they closed it down and they were doing a few other things. They kept debating, trying to sell it and all this stuff. Anyway, they sold it and was able to get some NASCAR races coming there this year and everything. So they had a story on the news about the manager, the guy that's running the whole operation up there, a brother. Mm-hmm. Never would have thought it. I mean, when I saw that interview, I'm like, you kidding me, right? Mm-hmm. No, he's the CEO or whatever of the speedway, and he's the one that's going out and bringing in the races and talking to all these sponsors and everything. And I said, I can tell you right now, it ain't because they want to be so diverse. I'm sure it's because they know this guy can get the job done, and he has. Right. I mean, he's bringing in these races, and he's bringing in people back to the track and everything. So I always look at it as I'm looking as a business owner or a manager. I'm looking at the bottom line. Who do I think is going to enhance my operation? And when it comes down to color and things of that nature, that to me, that shouldn't matter. It should be who I think is going to do that.
Exactly.
And that's what I owe my employees. That's what I owe my stockholders. I need to find who's going to make us money.
That's right. That's right. But they got so much of that superiority complex and anything that feeds that propaganda that they've got to. If there's a brother in there doing the job, they're gonna wait till they replace him with somebody white, and then you'll see this dude be so visible that it ain't even funny.
Mm-hmm.
I look at golf, until Tiger Woods came along, nobody ever talked about his hidden coach and all that. But since Tiger was a black dude, his daddy was the one that taught him every damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when he started having success, then all of a sudden they want to bring this dude in, his hidden coach, like he was the one responsible for all of that. And now all of a sudden, Tiger's gone. You don't hear nobody talking about the hidden coach no more.
No.
I'm like, wait a minute now. That dude, he was writing books and doing all this, having public appearances and shit because, this white dude had to teach this brother, he came fully locked and loaded. You were just there, and, but that's how the thing goes. I was reading an article this morning about Jim Caldwell. He was talking about how, this Rooney Rule and all this stuff hadn't worked simply because Jim Caldwell got fired for 2 jobs for winning.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about, which I've never seen this, heard him say it before, but they were talking about quotes from Peyton Manning about how his career was mediocre until he started to Jim Caldwell became his quarterbacks coach, because before, which I had forgotten about, they said Manning was throwing about 30 interceptions a year the first couple of years, and then Jim Caldwell came out, knocked that down to 10. They started
Mm-hmm.
winning, and then he finally got his first coaching job. He was winning. They fired him, even though he had a winning record. Took him to the
Right.
Super Bowl, all that 9 yards. Then he went to Detroit, and then he helped Matthew Stafford get his game together, because it took 12 years for his butt to get it together. And they talked about how his quarterback percentage went up from the time Caldwell got there, and how his stats went up and all that. Then they let him go because they wanted to hire that sorry sucker from New England. So, but he's gone out, and nobody's even giving him any credit because it's not a well-known thing.
Yeah.
And he don't have, but they'll build a white dude up so that you'll have to hire him. Well, he's done this and he's done that. Jim Caldwell and done all that, has an overall winning record from coaching and all that. Nobody knows that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows it, and it's all by design. It's not. That's why I always say that ain't no coincidence. That happens all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
That ain't no coincidence. And this dude sitting up here smiling. I saw somebody wrote an article in there about how he has been sympathetic to black causes. He's donated to because he's presenting an image. Yeah, he probably called him the N-word all the way to that bank donation. But that's how they like to sell him. What did Trump do? Trump tried to tell y'all, he tried to BS you into voting for him. What else you gonna do? You're living in slums? I'm like, boy, this is a complete idiot. And your schools are terrible. And I'm like, boy, you need to come up into the real world. And so, yeah, man, I can even speak on, well, I'm going to let that die, but things that are said and the implementation of the image that they want to project is totally different when you see them away from projecting that image. Look at how, as soon as I hear one, I say, look at how diverse my staff is. Yeah, that's just a talking point you want to try to exploit to make you think, that's paramount to, I've got black in my family, so I can't be racist. Yeah, but you ain't telling that your daughter brought it into your family.
I heard something this morning that I guess it started a little bit of controversy too about I guess Jackson State is pulling out of the Southern Heritage Classic this year.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I guess they're pulling it out, and I guess a lot of people are saying it's a Deion thing, that he wants to play. And I can see the point, because I know MTSU has done the same thing. I guess he wants to be able to play more money games,
right? Oh, yeah.
Some Division I schools to bring in money, So he's pulling out of the Southern Heritage Classic, and I forgot who they said that Foley is rumored that they want to play during that time frame, but it's one of the big D1 schools,
right?
And people are talking about it's Deion. It's only because of him, and he's forgetting about the heritage and all that kind of stuff, kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I mean, that was one thing. Deion said when he first went to Jackson State, so he couldn't believe how terrible the facilities were there.
Yeah,
and he was going to do whatever he could to bring in some money. I mean, he put a lot of his money in there.
That's right.
Just to try to make the facilities halfway decent,
But see, therein lies a problem with us. We want it to stay status quo, but then we don't want to do jack. I mean, you want us to, granted, I don't like to abandon all of our things that we've had to do to survive and to entertain ourselves, but this world ain't running on that's our thing. You need to get some money.
Yeah.
You need to get the big money games. This is another version on our end of like what But I get so sick of hearing these white guys say when they talk about something, well, he's not doing it for the money. He's playing for the love of the game. Who who who, who plays for the love of the game? Like, I'm like, you idiot. Do you go to the work for the love of work? It's just a bunch of bull crap, But then you got black people want to sit up and holler about that's our tradition. You won't even pay your college loan back.
Or go to the game.
Or go to the game. Yeah. And don't let them raise the ticket price. Oh, hell, it's been $6 ever since I was 12. Well, you know what? That irritates. That's what progress is. Progress, you got to move on. I understand you need to you don't want to abandon our traditional stuff, but sometimes that's been played out, or move that classic to another time. If I can go make me look at what the little white colleges do right now. They go and take them games when they know they're gonna get beat 72-0 because they're gonna get paid.
Yeah, MTSU has done it for years. I mean, they're mid-major. They're not a really small school, but when we first got here, they were playing Minnesota and UCLA and UT and those kind of teams, and it was well known. They were money games. They were guaranteed a significant sum of money, and they would go play, and most of the time they would get beat. I mean, they had a couple of competitive games, but for the most part, they would get beat.
Yep.
But they knew the money was coming in. So this ain't something new.
Right.
This is something schools have been doing forever.
See, Deion is big time, and these folks ain't ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They ain't ready for it, man. And then all them, it's like the church. All them old folks in the church, when the young person come up and they want to do something, they want you to sit down, but then be the first one talking about these young folks don't want to do nothing.
Don't come done. Yeah.
But you don't want to get out the way and let progress, happen. And that's what's happening with Deion down there. Deion bringing another level of intellect into it, and they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what's happening, because I didn't know that was happening until this morning. I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were pulling out.
They're pulling out the classic, and everybody, of course, is not everybody, but some people are down on Deion for saying he's the one that did that. Well, I think Deion's trying, as you say, trying to upgrade the school and bring some needed stature to schools like the SWAC and stuff. Because obviously he didn't have to go there.
Exactly.
He made that decision, and supposedly he's had some offers for some D1 schools, and he's going to hang on for a while, from what I understand.
That's right. And even that, if he decided to move on, then they're going to call him a sellout. Like you're just supposed to be content. Hell, he's got ambitions too.
And I think it's one of those things, if you can show that path to where, look, I went to a SWAC school, HBCU, and did well, and now I was able to move up through that path to a head coach at a D1 school and wherever else I can go, that will give another path for these players all to do that kind of thing. So I think he's doing a good thing. But like you say, there's always going to be those people who's going to sit back and say, well, the old way was always the best way. Well, there was people that probably said the same thing when you was young. Mm-hmm. Our old way was the best way, and you had no problem going in a different direction. You just have to do that. That's just part of evolution. It's just going to happen.
Just like Tyler Perry. I don't know how many people probably told him, boy, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna be making no movies and all that.
Yeah.
Well, we got some dream killers out here in our race, boy.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got no gumption or no wherewithal to go forth and do something. They're gonna tell you can't do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're always gonna have that. You always gonna have the naysayers.
And I'm one definitely that I look and wish to preserve the traditions, just like that bowl. I don't want to see it die, but don't be all judgmental when somebody can move on. Hell, if anything, let some other teams play. Yeah, I might have won it, but they got a better opportunity over here. So go take care of that, because it's going to benefit the SWAC. It's going to benefit black college football. Then you keep doing that, then here come game day. Gonna be at hell, he's already got that done. Game day ain't never been at an HBCU.
Yeah.
I think it was down at Jackson State for some game, Alabama, when he played Alabama A&M or something. That ain't never happened. But you
yeah, my philosophy has always been you have to be mindful of the past.
Yeah.
But you got to realize you can't live in the past.
There you go.
Time goes on, and as I all into history, and I made it sort of my life's work after, as I've retired and things, to be mindful of that. I like people to know about their history, but you got to move on.
Yeah.
You can't live in history. Things change, time change. I look, things like technology, which back in our day wouldn't even, they wouldn't even hardly a thought. But if you don't keep up, you're gonna get run over.
There you go.
You gotta be able to play the games and try to stay in tune with things. But there ain't nothing wrong with remembering your history and knowing where you came from. But you got to move on. You got to move on at some point, and there's been those tough decisions on things like that through the years. And I think, Deion just decided now's the time to move on. He's mindful of those traditions, but we got to keep moving.
That's right.
I got to do that.
And you were so right about that, living in the past, because we Black folks sure love what my mama said. Your mama, what she said back when may have been relevant, but that ain't relevant right now.
Yeah, things change. Things change.
That's
you
right.
Got to be able to change with it.
You're definitely right.
Got to be able to change.
And there are things that your mama wasn't privy to that you are to now. So you got to get up off your behind and make a conscious effort to be informed and make an appropriate decision.
For today.
Not with your
back
mama.
with mama. That's right.
Yeah.
For today.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it sometimes it frustrates me to listen to all of that. I'm like, man, you talking loud, but you ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
Seems
like was that Brother Brown that had that song? Talking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was getting ready to say, need to bring JB back, boy, because he was telling it like a T.I. is.
Yeah, that's right. He was a prophet back in the day. People just don't realize a lot of the stuff that he said back in the day, come to fruition, So yeah,
that's right.
I agree. Well, now that we've come to the end of this episode, I feel a little bit better. I had to endure all those comments about the Cowboys, but all I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Y'all take care. Peace.